Hello, everyone. All right, today I want to talk about the physical therapy world changing their recovery process from like small injuries, like a small tissue injury, like a minor strain. Uh, the acronym they used to use was called RICE, RICE, and now they changed it to MEAT, MEAT. So RICE used to be rest, ice, compression, and elevation. And they've now changed that to movement, exercise, analgesics, and treatment. And this is a great, because I think the science here, there's a lot of studies done on like taking, these cold water plunges that got really popular for a little while. And what they've noticed is that people, they don't get as strong and it delays the recovery. So what they've found is that the when you ice any type of particular injury, that you're actually slowing down the recovery process because the inflammation that occurs from a strain or any type of similar injury is actually part of the body's natural healing process to get you better. So that's a really cool thing to learn that I don't think many people have learned, that you shouldn't ice an injury anymore. That is not the prevailing common wisdom at this point. That is now found to be, our evidence indicates that is not good, that is counterintuitive to the healing process. And then the other one I really love is, it used to be called rest, and now they've thrown in exercise. So they went from telling people to not do anything to doing exercise. I love that one. And the reason for this is, when you don't use muscles or tendons or ligaments or your bones, if you don't put them through any type of exercise at all, they atrophy, they shrink, they get smaller, they get weaker. And we know that, if your tendons are bigger and stronger, they're more resilient, they're more capable. And there's also this neuromuscular feedback that comes from doing a lot of movement. Movement is part of the MEAT acronym, that tells your body these things are safe to do. So I think this is really kind of fascinating to learn and awesome to see, because I pay a lot of attention to John Sarno and the whole mind-body approach to medicine, that I still think is like by far still on another level than what physical therapy is teaching people. But this is clearly both in alignment with each other, where you want people to be able to resume normal activity to a level that they're able to do the things that don't hurt them. Like if you get a minor knee strain, you shouldn't take probably 3 weeks off of doing any type of movement. That you should probably do whatever it is that you can handle and be comfortable with. That has really become the prevailing wisdom. So the other thing that's very practical as a takeaway is, if you do get any injuries, because they happen in all of, let's say, the different types of sports, let's say powerlifting, running, bodybuilding, football, basketball, hockey, the lowest injury rate is lifting weights compared to anything else. But it still happens. It's still just, it happens every once in a while. But the takeaway is that you just work around it. If you have any type of injury that's bothering you, let's say you have an elbow injury, and when you do triceps a certain way, it's uncomfortable, and then you find a way where it is comfortable. You just work around it. So that's one of the other, good practical takeaways, is just when you have any type of injury that is bothering you, you move it through whatever range of motion that you can that's comfortable. You do the exercise. You might not be doing, what you were doing before, but whatever you can handle, getting a start, and just work around it. I see a lot of people that use it as a way to just get out of doing anything at all. And, my advice as a trainer is trying to get you to your goals and get you to where you want. And as part of the game is every once in a while, you'll need to work around it. So no to rice, yes to MEAT the acronym.